It's all for you. Yeah, yo. There whenever it matters, and even more when you feel like it doesn't. Protect you so you never feel like you wasn't. Know I'm right alongside you. Either that or I'm behind you, but always got you. End the discussion, nothing means more. First one to offer is shoulders for what you reach for. Thought I saw the eyes of the world until I seen yours. And know that I ain't see a better view yet. I'm with whatever, so don't ever you fret. Know that you covered, not a hurdle or a heartbreak. A change what a partake, cause none of them won't ever get comfortable in your walkway. My job is to aware you, fully loaded, prepare you for all of the above that I'm never letting get near you. But still in all, give you every advantage I found. Couldn't find a better fit for them, along with my crown. And since the baton was passed, I've been down. Cause failing's not an option, and dad is not a noun, not at all.
What's up, King?
What's up, big dog? What's good?
I'm good, man. Thank you for popping up here on Dad is Not a Noun, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Can't complain.
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving the energy. And again, I appreciate you jumping on with me and holler at me for a little bit. It means a lot. Tomorrow I'll celebrate. I do a little thing called TGIF, which is the gift in fatherhood. Okay. So I'm going to start it up a little early and give you a TGIF salute to you. Okay. The gift and father salute to you, brother.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nah, man. I'm just saying I'm a big fan of yours. I did my research, which I should have did earlier, but I did my research. So it's a wonderful story. Also, you know, today is Pregnancy Infant Loss Remember Day across the world. Where at 7 o'clock around the world, everyone lights one candle to remember the little ones that didn't make it.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to put that out there. But you know, with the grace of God, you know, your little guy went through, made it through. So that's an awesome thing. So also let's go on a positive note a little bit. You played a little ball, right?
Yeah. I played overseas. Well, college I played at Georgia Tech from 04 to 07. Okay. And then I played ball overseas for basically 8 years and everything. So it was good. It was a lot of traveling, a lot of passports. Just seeing the world, you know, just seeing the world. That's just something I'm grateful for.
And that's the one thing, you got an opportunity to see how other people live and their tradition and their culture. So how did that kind of help you a little bit too? Because that's the one thing, when you're stuck in the U.S., you kind of get the perspective of the world from the TV or social media. So being actually there can kind of tell me the atmosphere and the feeling being there.
It was cool. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know, like you say, they only show you like the beautifulness of everywhere on TV. But I was actually in some pretty like some pretty bad places, and you know, you kind of make the best of it. It just makes you see the world and how we living over here is like I in my opinion, in some places like we're spoiled, you know. It's like some places in China, it was just like it looked like a war zone, and you know, like it'd go from like it'd be like you'll be on the main strip where it's a bunch of restaurants and nice cars, and you turn one street and it just looked like that whole street just was bombed.
Wow.
You know, just like piles of trash. You see people going through the trash, and that's just how they live. You know, that's how they survive. That's how they eat. That's how they make money. And like I say, it just makes you open your eyes and see the world for what it really is, and not just all of the, you know, everything you see on TV.
And then also, as being a professional player, and then being like a person watching the game from the outside, how did you feel about how they handled the bubble this year?
I think they did a great job. You know, not just saying that because I miss basketball. You know, on TV, but they did a great job with controlling the people who can come and making sure taking the right steps of checking people and you know, getting God's family there, because they was there with 2-3 months, not seeing no wife, no kids. You know, that got to be hard. So, you know, with them handling that, and then being able to get family and friends into the bubble and not have any more breakouts, I feel like they
Right.
did an incredible job. They did a great
And
job.
and I think so too. But the only thing I was kind of disappointed was like the last game. It sucked that it was a blowout. I wanted it to be a little bit closer. It's
Yeah,
just I felt like Miami was just tired. Like
yeah. I mean, you
they were
can't.
done.
I mean, I was coming. They played two games to get them back to not lose 3-1. You know, they played two excellent games, but man, LeBron is something different. That man's
He's
different, man.
he's a beast ball on his own by himself. But
Yeah.
also, the last question about basketball. What are your feelings on that debate between Jordan and LeBron? Me personally, with LeBron, I think LeBron is a totally different player than
Uh-huh.
Jordan. I think LeBron is closer to Magic. I'd
Yeah.
rather do that comparison with Magic and LeBron than Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah.
What
See,
do you feel?
I understand the comparisons, because they looking at the achievements and the awards, and you know how the big name when they came into the league. So, you know, I was young watching Jordan, you know, so, you know, as a young kid, you kind of just do what you see your uncles and your older cousins, and you know, people who actually watched Jordan from North Carolina on up, and they was big Jordan fans. Now me, I'm leaning more towards LeBron, because that's who I watched growing up. Like, he's my GOAT. I feel like, you
Right.
know, like Jordan would be like my older cousins GOAT and stuff like that. Like, a lot of them don't like LeBron, like they like Jordan, you know what I mean? And then I like Jordan, but I'll take LeBron over Jordan, because that's who I watched growing up, you know. So yeah, but I can see the comparisons. They comparing the trophies and the accolades and all that stuff. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to compare the two. They're both great. Can't take nothing from neither one of them. So I just feel like people should just leave them alone and just let them do what they
No, I
do.
feel you. I feel like we should just appreciate that he's in
Exactly.
the game and doing his thing. Because when he's retired, we're gonna miss those moments. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So we should
Exactly.
appreciate it while he's healthy. Because what is he in his 16th, 17th season?
In his
Like next year will be
17th
his 17th.
season, he'll be 35 this year, I think, if not already turned 35. So he'll be 36 this upcoming season. So
And
yeah, they just
and
need to
then the
just
people
sit back
and
and watch
and
the greatness.
and that's the one thing is you gotta look at it too. Is like LeBron had a pressure coming out of high school.
Yeah,
He was considered the best player of that draft.
yeah,
So we had a lot of pressure there. Jordan really didn't, you know what I mean?
yeah, he did.
He was under the radar until he hit that shot
Yeah,
in the final tournament.
yeah,
And then his big name started going out there. But
yeah,
LeBron was already out there. Like in high school, he was on every magazine cover.
yeah.
He was on
I,
every ESPN, like
yeah,
every high school game he played, it was on TV.
yeah. Every senior game was on TV. He was on magazines and had a big name since his junior year. So yeah, that's why I'm like, it's different. It's totally different. It's two different eras, two different type of players, and I just feel like everybody need to just leave it alone and just watch greatness.
Definitely, man.
Watch greatness.
And definitely, and I'm with greatness right now because your story, you're in your and your wife's story is amazing. I call you guys the ICU Warriors. You know what I mean? Like Batman and Batman, because what you guys went through is amazing. Because I can't imagine like the mental trauma, not knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Because the story I read is that the doctors was like saying, this is nothing much we can do.
yeah.
Say your last goodbyes. So can you kind of talk about that a little bit in that
Um,
moment when all that happened?
yeah, that part of the story is true. The doctors basically told us, well, I'm gonna start from the beginning. My she went into the hospital with stomach pains at it was about 21 week, 8 days. And yeah, she was just it was April the 8th, and my birthday April 11th. So
Wow.
when she went in the hospital, I just was thinking, because she had just had an appointment a couple of days before, and her doctor told her, like, sometimes you'll have a little stomach pains. That's just like the baby moving,
Right.
your uterus contracting, you know. So when she came down saying that she was having pain, I just, just like, baby, you tripping. That's just the doctor just told us that's him moving in there or whatever.
Right.
So she's like, no, I'm going to go to the doctor and get checked out. So she goes to the doctor, and she was dilated about, I think it was 6 inches, 6 or 7 inches at 21 weeks. So then, so that's when everything kind of went, it just was like a blur. Everything just went kind of crazy. They basically told her, like, you're going to have him. We're going to admit you, call your family. He's not going to live no more than a couple breaths. Basically, like, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to try to save him? Because they was like, if he live, first they was saying he's not going to live more than a couple breaths. And then it went from that to, well, if he do live, he'll be a vegetable. He won't talk, see, hear. Like, he'll just be a vegetable until the day he died. So then they was like, so what do you want us to do? Do you want us to save him, or do you want us to just let nature take its course? And my exact words to the doctor, I remember he was Dr. Paco. His last name was Paco. I told him, I stood up, I promise you, bro, I stood up and got so close to him. I said, if y'all don't do everything y'all supposed to do to save my son, they gonna have to do that shit to save you. And he like walked out the room like, like.
So you basically you remember that movie John Q? So you had a John Q moment.
Yeah, I was on some John Q stuff, bro. I was like, hey, if y'all don't save my son, y'all gonna need help saving y'all's life. Like, I was in the mode like, nah, my son gonna be here. He gonna be good. And I told him, I'm like, all I need him to do is just come out and take a breath or try to cry. You know, the usual what babies do. Come out and try to cry. And he came out. He was what? He was 1 pound 3 ounces. He was and I seen you had the story had said that he was 1 pound 13 ounces. He was 1 pound 3 ounces.
Yeah. Wow.
He was like 9 inches, and he basically came out crying. He cried for a couple seconds, and then they went into like the what is it, like cold blue, because he had stopped breathing and everything. And yeah, so they wrapped him in saran wrap because his skin was so thin. His fingers and ears and toes, everything was still stuck to get like nothing was, so it was a crazy sight, but I just prayed. I never cried. My fiance used to be mad, like, why you ain't crying? I'm like, I can't cry. Like, I gotta stay strong. Like, this is his fight. You know what I'm saying? This is his fight. I gotta stay strong for him, and 170 days later, we got to bring him home from the NICU. He had oxygen for like the first 2 months, first two or 3 months. He had oxygen, but then after that, he's cool. Now he's running around and flipping and jumping and riding bikes. And know all the ABCs and can count to 20 and all this crazy stuff. It's just amazing, man.
And that's the awesome thing, is that you guys had that faith, believe that it was gonna work itself out.
I always said it's gonna work out.
But also the one thing too is what was it like for you? Because usually when it came to sharing those intimate moments, because personally I feel like when it comes to intimate moments like that, that's nobody's business. That's family, and you keep it in house. So how did y'all guys come to that agreement to show those intimate pictures?
I don't even think it was an agreement, bro. Honestly, I was the one picture that that went viral. Actually, it was just me in the hospital doing the skin to skin.
Right.
I happened to just take the picture. And then she posted it, and next thing we know, it's like everywhere in the world. I was like, and I'm kind of like I'm not like a big, let me take a picture. I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm not that big. I'm like a personal guy. Like, I like to keep my business to myself. So when that happened, at first I kind of felt a certain way, like, man, you ain't supposed to post that, like, you know what I'm saying? But then once I started seeing all the love we was getting and the prayers and everything, I'm like, all right, it kind of worked itself out, you know. And then just the awareness, you know, it's a lot of sick people in the world to take that picture and to make up their own story and attack GoFundMe and all that, you know. So that's I just will tell people, like, man, just report the fake news, because there's nothing I can do about it, but just report that. I'm not about to sit here and go crazy, you know. God take care of people like that in the end, you know. So
definitely, because I'm a believer things work out itself out, because you wouldn't have found out if I didn't inbox you about it and tagged you in it.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I had a lot of other people. I had a lot of people hitting me, but you're the first person to inbox me that you have your own you have your own lane, your own, you know, your people watching you and everything. You're the first person to reach out to want to get the story right. You know, everybody else would just put it on and just keep it moving, get the likes and whatever happens after that. But you're the first person to, like, you know, hit me and talk to me personally, like, okay, I want to know the real story, because I don't want to be out here putting out the fake story and, you know, everything. So I really appreciate that, bro. You're the first person to do that.
No, the pleasure is mine, because, you know, I did it out of sincerity, because, you know, Dad is a noun. I created it. I'm not a father, but to me, Dad is a noun. To me, it's like, remember when Derek Jeter's last baseball game and that little kid, like, took the hat off to salute him?
Yeah.
That's what that is not a noun is to me.
Yeah.
When I wear that shirt, that's like a tip of the hat to fathers like you, that I can recognize you guys from a distance.
No, I appreciate
and then when I saw that photo, because I remember that story, because it was a couple of years old, and I'm trying to, like, Google your name, trying to find out information, and I couldn't find it. And every time I found information, it was that same story. It was like it was in different websites, that same story. And that's when I hit you up. I'm like, hey, I want to do an interview with you, and then I tagged you in that story. And then when I saw that comment, I'm like, yo, I need to delete that real fast. And then I just felt personal that I had to make it a public announcement about that. I'm like, hey, you know, and you know, I just, like I said, I felt emotionally connected to that story.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's the one thing, as Black men, we kind of have a tendency of suppressing our emotions. You know, not to talk about it. Like you said, you're an action dude. You don't like, you know, showing that emotion. But like, one thing is, like, when we don't share those emotions and those feelings, that kind of eat us up.
Yeah.
And we act out in different ways. You know what I mean? And so I think that's one things I try to work on here on this platform, is talk about mental illness too, for Black men too, because that's the one thing you never, you know, you get the mother's point of view, which is important, because the life is in them, but you also want to get where the dad is coming from mentally, because again, as father, you know, with being a father, you know, you're told to suck it up, you know, don't show emotions, don't cry, you know. If you cry, you're a punk. And so what I found breathtaking about that picture is that all that went away. Like, all those that armor went away. And it was just you and your son in that intimate moment. And I think a lot of people resonated with it, because they as men, they understand that, you know, that went through what you went through. You know, they understand it, and it resonates.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, it was a, you know, like I said, it was an intimate moment, and I'm not too big with being on the internet and, you know, like that. I'll post pictures here and there, but I'm not real big with, you know, like how some other people every couple seconds they posting a picture. I'm eating, I'm drinking,
right?
I know. Washing my plates. Like, nobody got time for all that, man.
Facts, man. Facts. But before I let you go, bro, what do you want to tell to a family that's going through the same situation like that you guys went through, or like a father that, you know, or kind of don't know how to psychologically handle it? What kind of word of wisdom can you give to people out there?
Just pray. You got to just pray and stand on your morals. You know, of course, you got to be strong. It's okay to cry. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you got to be tough. Everybody handles stuff differently. I'm not a crier. You know what I mean? So I handle stuff differently. I'm a thinker. I'll sit back and think of ways of like, okay, how can I try to fix the situation or help or better the situation or in something like that, you know? So it's just you got to be mentally tough. And I just understood from the get-go that that was his fight. There's nothing that we could have done to help him live other than just pray and love him. And, you know, I was in there. I literally was going from work. At the time, I was working at Bimbo Bakeries. And I was working overnight from, I was basically working from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I was literally going to work, getting off, going to the hospital, doing chest skin to skin. Like I literally was walking around the hospital with no shirt on. Like I was offering the nurses like, hey, I can hold that baby too. Like I was just sitting there, you know, making light of the situation. It was a serious situation, but it kind of softened it up, you know, and they're joking around and, you know, having fun. But it's just at the end of the day, you got to realize that that's a piece of you, and you wanted to live. So you got to do. You just gonna do what you need to do. I never had any second thoughts or anything about doing anything, whatever I had to do to make my son feel better when he was in the NICU and everything. You know, I would be in there, talking to him through the thing, having my hand in there. And like I say, I would work 12 hours, go straight to the hospital, nap in the hospital, and then go to work. Like that's like some days I wasn't even showering. Like I was just,
going all in there.
I didn't care, bro. I didn't care. I didn't care. I was work, hospital, back to work. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to see my little man make it. So ain't none of that other stuff mattered to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's it, man. Just prayer, be tough, being mentally tough. I would say being mentally tough. And you just got to be there for your girl, because at the end of the day, she's gonna feel it more than you because she actually was carrying the baby. You know, so that's really was it. Trying to comfort her, and like I say, 106 days later, we got to bring our little man home, and it's just been a rocket from there. Straight
That's
up.
right, man.
It's been a while. It's just growing and getting smarter and just wilding. So I love it. I love every second of it.
And I love every second that I enjoyed having this conversation with you, King. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
We definitely got a link behind the scenes in the message. I'll give you my number. We could text just to check on each other. You know,
Definitely.
It shouldn't stop from here, man. We could just build a bond away from here. And then also, I'm gonna send out that shirt today. So hopefully you'll get it in next week. Hopefully, you know, with the UPS with the postal service, it's a hot mess. So hopefully I'll get there, you know. Hopefully not 2 months. You know what I mean? But
as soon as I get it, I'll let you know, and we can go on from there. If you need me to take some pictures or whatever, I got you. But like you said,
I appreciate that, man.
But like
I appreciate that, but
we need to stay in touch behind the scenes and everything. We can
definitely, man, definitely. And you know what? If you want to do that, that's all love. If you want to post a pitch, I'm not all about that, like that marketing stuff.
Yeah.
Do it if you want to do it, but I'll just be happy you have it.
Yeah.
And when you rock it, you know, it's, like I said, it's just like my salute to you.
I got you. Appreciate it.
All right, King. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and definitely we're gonna be chopping it up later, man.
All right, bet. Same to you.
All right, King.
All right.